My name is Sarah. I am the CEO and founder of Eve. We're an Irish-based e-mobility analytics platform, and we help the world's most complex fleets to electrify more efficiently by utilizing their own data to simulate and then deploy and optimize electric fleets. I started Eve after I'd worked in the automotive industry. As part of my early career, I was in the Czech Republic and worked for Skoda and Volkswagen on some of their urban mobility innovation. So I think that kind of paved the way to then naturally progress and be interested in the market. But I also grew up in rural Germany in a farming area where every year on year you could see the worst effect of climate change, more droughts, more floods. So I've grown up with a big interest in sustainability, and so with Eve that kind of all merged together. Before joining SheScales, I think one of the big barriers for me personally was I'm a female founder in probably one of the most male-dominated industries that there is out there. It's a legacy industry. These companies aren't really susceptible to change or innovation as much as maybe other industries. So I always knew it was an uphill battle, but then once you're in it, you actually realize how difficult it can be. So I think one of my biggest struggles was to actually find a network of people that were in a similar position, that had learnings, and knowing how can we accelerate our route to market, how can we go with the pace and the information that the customer needs. So I think for that, SheScales was really important to get that network and get the opportunity to meet so many different people, whether that was industry, investors, or other founders. I think SheScales was a really pivotal moment for myself. I definitely had that imposter syndrome before, where you feel like it's never good enough what you're doing. You're maybe not as valuable to the effort and the work that you put in. So a key part of that program was being surrounded by women. We always uplift each other. So having that opportunity to be in a room full of other women who run businesses, incredible businesses, and them really highlighting and saying, wow, it's incredible what you've achieved over the last 4 weeks, and giving myself the grace and the opportunity to put that out there, I think really helped with now anchoring myself as I am the CEO of a company. We are fast growing, we're doing incredible things, and being proud of that. So SheScales for the business has been incredible. Obviously, we were going before, we were growing, but I think we had an idea where we wanted to go, but all the intermediate, we didn't really know the exact steps to reach where we wanted to be. So having the program, getting to learn from amazing leaders, and really understanding if we want to reach point X, what do we do this year? What do we put on our priority list? How do we manage the small resources that we have within the team? I think that was incredibly valuable. So just getting to understand, to connect those dots between where you are now and the future vision, because a lot of early stage startup is you working towards that vision, but also understanding how can you accelerate that on a day-to-day perspective. So in the beginning of this year, we went on the annual trade mission that AwakenHub launches, which takes founders from all across Ireland to go to Boston and New York. Obviously, this was a perfect timing, as we already knew we were going to go back to the States. I just came back from a 6-week trip just this weekend. But having that launch into the market before, building out connections, but also understanding the local ecosystem, was incredible to have that before we went out there. One of the biggest concerns I had is I know how to play the European market, but I don't have existing relationships in the US, and I also don't fully know how to do business there. So being able to have that soft landing before and really tailor our messaging, and then go back out there, build the strategic partnership, close the strategic investment, and now even close our first US customer. I think that all is a contribution through AwakenHub and the work that they've been doing with us. If I had one thing to say to future entrepreneurs or female founders that are in the game right now, is to go for it and join AwakenHub, join the community. One of the key things for me was always, anywhere I go, I'm usually the only woman in the room, whether that's in conversations with customers, whether it's at investor meetings or at any industry events. So I was really longing to have a room full of women that are all doing the same thing, and it can be so powerful to learn from each other. A lot of the times founding can be very quiet, it can be very kind of excluded from the rest of the world, because no one really understands what you're doing to begin with. So being able to tap into a community of people that support you, I think is the most valuable thing that you can get. For me, SheScales is empowering, its community, and it's also forward thinking. If I could say one thing to the funders and the supporters of SheScales and AwakenHub in general, I think it's worthwhile making that investment, and it goes so much further than just putting funding out there. I think the program has really understood how to nourish and support female founders specifically, and how to make that across Ireland connection with the focus on how do you internationalize, how you grow. So I think it's probably one of the most valuable programs out there at the moment for a female founder.